This is Let's Talk AFL. I'm Ash Stevens, and this is my wrap for round 20. Let's go back to Friday night, Collingwood versus Essendon. The final score, Collingwood 24-18, 162 to Essendon 10-4, 64. The summary for Collingwood is who will beat Collingwood come September. And with Essendon, it's just respectability now and to get those experience games into the young players. Let's go to the next game. Carlton versus Richmond, Saturday afternoon. The final score, 23-18, 156 to Richmond, 10-7, 67. Summary from that game, Carlton have cemented their spot in the 8, but can they win the last 2 games to cement their home final come September? On the other hand, Richmond, they have a future full forward in the making of Jack Riewoldt. Can he win the goal kicking this year? Let's go to the next game. Sydney versus Fremantle. The final score there. Sydney 14-12, 96 to Fremantle 13-9, 87. The summary from that game. Sydney, are they finals contenders or will they crumble when it is counted? Fremantle, on the other hand, the biggest improvers this year, will they make an impact come finals time? They need to win the last 2 games to cement their spot for a home final. Let's go to the next game. Saturday night, Jalan versus Bulldogs. Final score, Jalan 25-11, 161. Western Bulldogs 9-6, 60. The summary from this game was Bulldogs came out of the blocks hard. Geelong came back in the first quarter, led the first quarter, and then kicked on and kicked the next 14 goals unanswered, which blew Bulldogs out of the water. Can the Bulldogs come back from this? That is the question. And is Geelong on their way to win back-to-back flags this year? Let's go to the next game. Port Adelaide West Coast at Amy Stadium on Saturday night. Final score, Port Adelaide 8 goals 13, 61 to West Coast 8 goals 12, 60. It was the battle of the bottom sides. The question was, could West Coast upset Port Adelaide at their home? But it wasn't to be. Port Adelaide scraped through in a nail biter by 1 point. This year, they will not play finals, whereas West Coast will win the wooden spoon. And will Matt Primus coach Port Adelaide next year? Let's go to the next game. Adelaide versus Brisbane at the Gabba on Sunday. Adelaide final score 15-14, 104 to Brisbane 13-19, 97. The summary from this game was Brisbane were back to their best, showing the pressure that they showed early in the season by winning the first 4 games. But they could not sustain Adelaide's hard run through the centre and only having 2 interchange come the final siren. It was a good win by Adelaide, strong win, but Brisbane now need to show that they have got good young players and they need to beat Essendon this week. Will they? Can they? Future will only tell. Let's go to the next game. Hawthorn, Melbourne, Sunday afternoon. Final score, Hawthorn 15-9, 99 to Melbourne 12-6, 78. Hawthorn needed to win this game to cement their spot in the 8 for now after round 20. They did that, and now Melbourne, it looks like it may come down to the last round to show any signs of them making the 8 by beating North Melbourne in the last round. Can they do it? They need to win the last 2 games to have any chance. Last game of the round, St Kilda, North Melbourne. St Kilda final score, 17-13, 115 to North Melbourne 9-9, 63. The summary from this game, North Melbourne needed to win this game to have any chance of making the finals this year. On the other hand, St Kilda are back to their best from 2009. Rewalt finishing with 7 goals after damaging his hamstring early in the year. I believe he's back to his best, and it may come down to the finals for St Kilda to show that they're maybe grand final contenders, but they need to beat Geelong or Collingwood to have any chance. This is Ash Stevens, and this was my wrap for round 20. See you next time.